Hey everyone, Kale with Antique Book Collective, and today I'm talking to you guys about Dymo label printers. So, guys, I know this sounds really boring from the get-go, but just bear with me. Let me talk for a little bit. So, I just wanted to say, guys, Dymo label printers, these things are like the cat's meow for me. I've had this thing for years. I first bought it for my Amazon FBA business because it does just the little labels that you guys see on a lot of the things that Amazon sells. So I did this initially for my business, and it worked really well for me. However, I recently had yet another printer decide to stop working on me, and I was like, okay, so none of the normal printers that I have tend to stay alive long enough for me to work with, and it always just burns into hours and hours of my time. So I finally decided to take the leap and get a Dymo printer that does shipping labels. However, unfortunately, this little guy doesn't cut it for the Dymo label printers for packages. What you need for packages, from what I saw, has to be a few inches wide, and this thing, it only is like, what, 3 inches? So you need to have like 4 inches, and this thing just couldn't do it. So I had to go out and buy a new label printer. I'm sure a lot of you guys already have them, so this video is sort of for those of you that don't have label printers just yet. It's sort of going to be a where do you buy them, what to look out for sort of thing. But I recently had to buy this one right here. I bought this thing used. I bought my other label printer used, guys. I honestly would recommend buying them used because the cost saving that you do for buying them used is just so nice. I mean, otherwise for this thing, I mean, I would have had to pay hundreds of dollars. I even saw some brand new ones for this particular one, the Dymo Label Writer 4XL. I saw some of these for like $300 plus. So when you're buying brand new, you do spend an arm and a leg. I bought this thing used for $160. So I just wanted to say that right off the bat. I bought mine on eBay for this one, and I also bought this one here on eBay. This one I think I paid like $60 for. So big difference between the two, but at the end of the day, this one's going to be able to do a lot more for me because it is a little bit bigger. However, guys, there's an issue when you buy things used. Sometimes they don't work. So this thing actually did not work when I first did it. So when I first did it, bear with me, guys. I reprinted on this label like 5 times because I'm a cheap person. I wanted to just keep testing the same thing until I could fix the actual issue. But when I first used this thing, this new printer, it actually had a 1/2 inch section right here that would not print. And I saw that and I was just like, oh poo. And I know that you guys can see that it does have stuff there now. That's because I reprinted a few times until I fixed the issue. And what happened at the end of it was the actual part that this prints with. So Dymo printers, they use heat to print, and for some reason there was something on the heat element thing that this prints with that was obstructing the heat for an entire 1/2 inch here and wouldn't let it print. So I had tried a couple times. I was like, okay, I think I know what the issue is. So what I did was I opened this thing on up, and then you can actually take off the front part right here. I haven't done this before, but guys, all it really takes is it has a little hump right here. So I stuck my thumb right there, lifted, and as you can see, this part here is now loose, and then you can just pull that away and that comes off. And from there, I was able to, actually, excuse me for seconds, I get this label out of the way. What you can do from there, guys, what my problem was this little part right here, this little metal part. It actually had some junk stuck on it that was preventing the heat from transferring over. And luckily, I was able to fix that. It was a relatively easy fix, and it didn't take too long, but at the end of the day, I was very nervous because I was like, oh no, don't tell me I finally bought a used piece of machinery that didn't work. Normally, it's only new things that I buy that don't work. That's my experience, at least. But end of the day, though, guys, this still ended up being a massive, amazing deal for me. I'm not selling it. I'm not about to sell it. This is mine now. I fixed it fair and square. It's mine. But I did reach out to the eBay seller and was like, hey, so this was a thing. Please test your future things. So, guys, if you do sell those, please be sure to test them because there are issues that occur on everything. That seems like it would have been a pretty simple thing to test and see that there was an issue. If it doesn't print for a 1/2 inch of a 4 inch wide label, I mean, you're losing, what is that, 1/2 inch of 4, so I don't want to do the math. That's 1/8 though, whatever 1/8 is in a percentage. But that's a good amount that is missing on that print. I would not be able to use labels if I used that. However, guys, as I said, I fixed it, and here is the label all pretty now. As you can see, it's a sample label, and this one's actually clean though. But as you can see, it doesn't have the stripe anymore, so I'm really happy with that. But with all that said though, guys, when you are buying these used things, again, you need to, as soon as you get these things, you need to test them out to make sure that they work. In fact, a lot of the times when I'm buying something, I'm testing it out for the first time, I'm going to put it through the ringer. I'm going to abuse this thing as much as I willingly would do. Like, I'm not going to hit it with a hammer, but I am going to use it like a little workhorse for a little bit, just to make sure that it is not just going to be something that works for me for, like, let's use a car for example. It's not going to be something that runs for 10 miles and then dies. I am going to drive this thing for 100 miles, drive it hard, soft, however I want to do it, work the brakes, I'm going to do all these things to make sure that it works. For me with this printer, I now am confident that this thing works. I'm very happy with it, even though I had the issue in the very beginning, but sometimes you have issues in the very beginning with things that you do. That was not the case with this one. This one's been trusty old and reliable for me. I've been using it for years. I don't do Amazon FBA anymore, as you guys know, but I do still make little labels that say like happy reading on it, and I put that on all my different books. Of course, I don't put it directly on the books. I do wrap my books before I ship them out. This obviously is not one of those books, but I do wrap them on all sides. I make them look pretty. I don't put any tape on the actual books, but then I put the happy reading thing, and people do like seeing that on their books. But with that said, though, guys, if you do have issues with your things, that is why when I bought this thing, actually, I bought one that had it so it had free returns or buyer pays returns. Buyer pays for the return label. I do go for those things oftentimes because you never know if you will buy something and it doesn't work and you do have to return it. Because otherwise, if this didn't work and if I couldn't return it, I would have been up a creek without a paddle with $160 gone, Of course, I could have disputed it and gotten in a big fight, but I'm not really that person at the end of the day. But with all that said and done, though, guys, I hope this video was helpful. I know it was just a little bit of a short spiel sort of video. I know it wasn't too substantive. Sorry, I'm struggling sometimes, but just want to say, now that I have these, it's going to be able to speed along my process a whole lot with my shipping labels, because no longer do I have to go walk over to my printer, fight my printer, because boxing my printer for an hour on end. I'm kidding there, but no longer do I have to do that, because I literally was wasting sometimes hours on end trying to get printers to work, especially with the last printer. This most recent one worked a whole lot better until it decided not to work anymore. But the one before that, guys, I would literally waste hours and hours and hours. So it's nice now having one that I know is going to work, that I know is going to be quick, and that I can actually have on my desktop next to me, because this is relatively small, especially compared to the normal printers you see. So with all that said, though, guys, I do recommend the Dymo printer brand. Pro tip, though, if you do buy these, maybe this isn't the biggest pro tip. It's a cheapskate tip, but I don't personally buy the name brand Dymo labels. They do have lots and lots of off-brand labels. There can be issues with those off-brand ones, like maybe they don't have everything just to spec, so it doesn't work in the printer, but oftentimes the labels will work fine. I've been using off-brand labels for these things for years now. Of course, you don't want to go all whole hog or whatever that is, and spend $6 million on an unknown label brand and find out it doesn't work. You do want to sort of get a small sample in and make sure that those labels work. Of course, I have found ones that work. And the ones that I buy, guys, these are from Amazon, just the little small ones, small address ones, and then I have the full-size 4-inch by 6-inch address ones, also bought on Amazon. I have not bought these labels for the small one for 6 years or something like that. I don't know, 2018, so 5 years at least. I have not bought any of those. Potentially more. I don't remember exactly when I stopped doing the FBA, but I basically bought them all at once and have not had to buy them since because I bought so many. I did the same sort of thing with these big ones. I have officially bought them once. I just bought them last week or so. No, earlier this week. I don't know. Very recently. I just bought them and I paid, I want to say $4 per roll, a little over $4 per roll on Amazon. On Uline, which is where I do a lot of the shopping for my business, it was $16 per roll, and that was with the name brand one. So guys, I personally do go up for non-name brand things quite often, especially if I know that they work. So this was a big cost savings for me. I was able to buy 10 rolls for a little over $4 a piece, as opposed to buying for $40, I could have bought almost 3 rolls. So it was nice being able to get a whole lot more labels for my money, which is something that I would recommend you do, but it's not recommended by the brand, so I can't officially recommend that, but that is something that you can do if you're a rebel like me. But with that said, though, guys, sometimes there are times where you should shop on Amazon to buy things. Sometimes you should shop on Uline. Sometimes there's other places to shop. For me, I used to go out and buy all my boxes in person. I'd go to either Home Depot or Walmart, and that was at the very beginning of my business when I didn't have enough money to buy a ton of boxes all at once. Then as I got a little bit bigger, I started ordering my boxes from Walmart, and they deliver the boxes to me, and I get hundreds and hundreds of boxes. And then as my business got even bigger, I got to the point where doing Uline was actually affordable and economical for me to do. That being said, when I was buying all the stuff for this latest trip, I was looking at doing Uline, and when I'm looking at using Uline, guys, I literally pull up their website, I purchase all the different things, I put it all in my cart, and then I look at how much shipping is going to cost, and then I look at that price and I decide, okay, is that a reasonable number? Oftentimes I will then hop on over to Amazon. Amazon is a nice middle of the road. Sometimes they're a little more than Uline, sometimes they're a little less, but because I have a Prime membership, it usually takes care of the shipping thing, which oftentimes makes it less than Uline, especially when I'm buying fewer items. So with that said, sometimes I do Amazon. If you guys don't have an Amazon Prime membership, might be worth looking into. I'm going to do a longer spiel on that in the future. Might do an affiliate link on that too, because I get affiliate income if I do that. But this entire video right now, guys, no affiliate income for anything that I'm really talking about. It's basically just, you can buy this used, you can buy knockoff for labels, and it could be a really good cost savings. Something else, guys, so I've been doing just paper labels on all of my boxes for all the years that I've been doing my business, actually. So over 5 years of doing this, maybe 6 years, I don't know, however long I've been doing it. I've been doing paper labels for all this time. So I've been using a ton of tape to secure it. So because I do the top, side, well, bottom, and then I do one across the barcode. Just make sure it's waterproof when I'm putting all the tape on the box and putting tape on the label to secure it in place. So now that I have the sticky ones, I won't have to use all that tape. So it probably is going to end up saving me a lot of money in addition to all the time I'm going to save, because I'm not fighting printers, and because, well, I don't have to fight putting the wrinkles on the paper label as I'm putting it on. It's going to be really nice to actually have a label that I can just print, put on. So with all that said and done, though, guys, again, I know this is a little rambly of a video. I know that it might not be the most interesting thing for all of you guys, but at the end of the day, if I was doing this entire business all over again, I think I would definitely go for a Dymo label printer, or whatever off-brand you guys want to use, honestly. And I would do the labels that are sticker labels, because all the time that I've wasted doing all the other things, it just sort of is irksome to think, wow, if I just invested a little bit more in the very beginning, I could have done a whole lot more with my time. I mean, with the hours that I waste trying to fight a printer, I could have gotten more things listed. With the more things listed, I could have gotten more money in my pocket, which means I could have spent more to get more books. I could have really helped myself out in the long run. So I finally made the leap. I'm a little ashamed that I only stuck with this little baby one for all these years, because now I feel like a big boy, because look at this. Got a big one now. But with all that said, though, guys, I hope this video is helpful. Honestly, I hope you guys go out and buy Dymos, because I really love my Dymo. Again, not sponsored or anything, I just really do enjoy the brand. Don't enjoy how much their labels cost, hence why I've never bought their labels, but I do like the brand. So with that said, though, guys, again, thanks for watching. Please check out one of my other videos. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.